Welcome back, Brighton soccer fans. We are here with our co-captain celebrations this week. We're here with fellow co-captain, captain number 2, senior forward / center midfielder this year for us, Nick Cassar. As I mentioned, Nick is one co-captain. He is receiving his 4-year program participation award, his Brighton High School Scholar Athlete award of a 3.0 or higher in the last marking period. He was named to the All Livingston County First Team. He was named to the KLAA All Conference First Team, the All District Team, and again, like I mentioned, a program co-captain as well. I think one thing right out of the gate that needs to be said is, Nick Cassar coming into the season was arguably, our most dangerous forward, our most dangerous attacker, and we had a lot of different ways that we could probably attack systematically as a team, as a program going into the season. Not having a lot of time in the summer to obviously play with things and see how things would work out with our typical scrimmages and things of that nature that, all the other teams are in the same boat. But, we had to be flexible a little bit. And Nick was someone who early on we identified a desperate need for our team to have a playmaking center midfielder and a number 10. And Nick was really that player that we felt both from a fitness level and from a creativity standpoint and his ability to really just be involved in the play across the field. He was someone who we identified as really the single most effective player on our roster in our program that could handle the responsibility of arguably one of the most positions, if not the most important position on the field for us, especially in our attack. He's really that playmaking player. And, Nick being traditionally a forward, someone who's always playing up top, always receiving the ball, maybe with his back to goal or looking to take guys on 1v1, we asked him to do a lot of things that he wasn't used to doing this season. And he did all of them. He took them all in stride. He did them all with a great attitude. He had to learn a lot in that position. And it wasn't always easy. I know it wasn't easy. We placed a lot of demands on Nick. And not because we needed him to do more necessarily out of that position, but because we wanted to push him, because we knew that he was capable of not only being responsible for that position and our team's attack, but also just taking us to the next level. And he, really did a fantastic job of being nimble, being flexible, willingness to change. And I think that ultimately this season, if it did nothing else for him, it gave him a new perspective from a different spot on the field and helped round him out as an even better all-around player. And I think that can best be summed up, honestly, in Nick. We are excited to announce, and it's been on social media and things, but we're excited to share that news that Elisa shared and the family shared that he signed on to play at Findlay University next season. So that's fantastic, right? So congratulations on that, Nick. But we know that you're going to do fantastic things in the attack for that team. And Nick, I mentioned in a previous video that we had 3 fantastic co-captains this season. Each co-captain led with a very unique style, a very different style from one another. And I think that was a huge, huge benefit to our team and also spoke to the friendship that those 3 had since they were kids. And that's one of the great things about playing high school soccer is that friendship, that camaraderie that players develop as they grow up together. And Nick was one of those players who his work ethic and the attitude and the energy that he brought, just kind of the joy of being at soccer is something that is so infectious, and you can see it on his face and in his legs and his movement each and every day that he steps foot on the field. He's what I like to call just a soccer junkie, and he loves the game. He loves just being on the ball, practicing the game. He's somebody who I think we have yet to see. I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg in terms of Nick really getting to the peak of his talent. And it wouldn't surprise me to see him not only have a great career at Findlay University, but as he continues to play, to really blossom as a player and really take his game to a completely new level. Players who often are kind of that soccer junkie mentality, I see both as a player and as a coach and just throughout being around the game, throughout my tenure being part of the game, I see players flourish more times than not after they slow the game down mentally, as they get older, as they get into their 20s even, the game just slows down for them. They process the game much faster. They realize their bodies don't have to move at 1,000,000 miles an hour all the time. And Nick's body does currently do that. And so I think that as he processes the game faster and as he realizes that he can do more with less at times, I think that the game is going to get that much easier for him. And other players are going to be that much easier for him to beat and for him to make look silly. And he still does that very frequently. But I think Nick's somebody who I expect to see just a lot of growth from both throughout his college career and potentially even beyond, and to do some awesome things on the field. So Nick is just somebody who, again, I'm going back to his leadership style. He was somebody who he brought a certain energy and expectation and joy to training, to games, and just an utter happiness that you get that sense that he had at all times, just being around his friends, being around the game. And that is something that is so infectious and is so important, and sometimes I think goes overlooked so much in sports, which at the end of the day, right, sports should be fun. So Nick, thank you so much for sharing your joy with us the past 4 years. It has been awesome watching you grow as a player. It's been even better watching you grow as a person. And another thing to sum up there is, not all of us are gifted with fantastic ability in the classroom. I was one of them, Lord knows. My GPA was not anything what it should have been, not anywhere near half the kids that we've talked about throughout this. But one thing that I'm really proud of Nick for doing is hunkering down. And as he's grown, as he's matured as a student athlete, he realized the importance of grades as well. And I think you can hear that in him receiving the Scholar Athlete of a 3.0 or higher in the last marking period. That, I know that is harder for Nick than maybe some other people. And that's something that he has started to take a lot of pride in. And for you younger players who might be watching this video, whether you're getting good grades now or not, you can always work harder, you can always do a better job, and you can dedicate yourself to getting good grades. And I think I'm really proud of Nick for hunkering down and making that a priority, and really making that something that has really blossomed in his own path. I think that's just going to serve him well as he goes on to college, and you're left to your own devices more times than not, and you have to do all of your own studying with very little structure and supervision, which was very tough for me. But I know that you're already starting to set some of those boundaries in place. You're going to do a fantastic job. So Nick Cassar, fantastic career. We're going to miss you a lot, and best of luck down at Findlay and beyond, my friend. Take care. Nick Cassar, everybody.